Ever pondered the significance of safety in handling hazardous substances? Understanding this crucial aspect is not just a moral obligation, but a legal one too, especially for those dealing with materials that may pose a threat to human health. Today, we delve into the COSHH assessment, an integral part of managing substances that are hazardous to health. COSHH, or the Control of Substances Hazardous to Health, is a regulatory law in the United Kingdom that requires employers to control substances that can harm workers' health. It outlines a systematic procedure to identify, evaluate, and control the risks associated with hazardous substances. The first step in a COSHH assessment is to identify the hazardous substances present in your workplace. These could range from chemicals and fumes to dust and bacteria. Each substance has its unique potential hazards, and it's essential to recognize these to take appropriate safety measures. Next, we move on to determining who might be harmed and how. It is important to consider everyone who could be affected: workers, visitors, contractors, and even people outside the workplace. This step involves understanding how these groups might come into contact with the hazards, whether it's through inhalation, skin contact, or ingestion. The third step is to evaluate the risks. This involves considering the probability of harm occurring and the severity of that harm. It's crucial to understand the nature of the substance, how it's used or produced, and how much people are exposed to it. Following risk evaluation, we need to decide on precautions. This is about deciding on the control measures to put in place to eliminate or reduce the risks. Controls could include using safer substances, changing the process to reduce exposure, or using personal protective equipment. After deciding on precautions, you must implement these controls. This means putting the control measures into practice and making sure they are used and maintained. The sixth step in the COSHH assessment is to record your findings. This involves documenting all the steps you've taken, the hazards identified, people at risk, control measures, and any training or information provided. Regularly reviewing and updating the assessment is the final step in the process. This ensures that the assessment remains relevant and up to date with any changes in the workplace or new information about the substances being used. In summary, the COSHH assessment is an essential process for managing hazardous substances in the workplace. It involves identifying the hazards, determining who might be harmed and how, evaluating the risks, deciding on precautions, implementing these controls, recording your findings, and regularly reviewing the assessment. Remember, safety isn't a checkbox exercise. It requires continuous effort and vigilance. And with the COSHH assessment, you have a systematic and efficient approach to managing the risks associated with hazardous substances. Keep in mind that the ultimate goal is to create a safe and healthy environment for everyone. Until next time, stay safe and stay informed.